Okay, I think that satisfies the most obvious joke. Oh, hey, welcome to the Rerun Lounge. I'm Remy, and I feel that if you ask someone what their favorite DBZ movie is, you might get a lot of people saying Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, one of the cooler movies, or Fusion Reborn. There are plenty of great ones to choose from, but if you ask me, I would say Bojack Unbound, with Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan as a close second. Bojack Unbound is the 9th Dragon Ball Z movie and was released in Japan in 1993 as Dragon Ball Z Ginga Giri Giri Buchi Giri no Sugoi Yatsu, meaning Dragon Ball Z, the galaxy at the brink, the super incredible guy. Both of those names are incredibly fun to say, but I think I'll just stick with Bojack Unbound. When you have movies dedicated to the brother of one of the most popular DBZ villains of all time, movies featuring a lost Saiyan with a powerful mutation of the iconic Super Saiyan form, and a movie that literally has all the past foes return while the fan favorite Gogeta is unleashed for a final fight, it is super understandable that Bojack Unbound may get overshadowed a bit. My first exposure to this movie was through an anime music video dedicated to Gohan, featuring the song Kryptonite by 3 Doors Down. I don't remember the exact year, but I'm pretty sure it was released before Bojack was in America, so all I could do was wonder who these neat villains were. It wasn't until years later that I finally watched the movie and instantly fell in love with it. By the way, I can't believe that I actually found this ancient AMV on YouTube. It's great to see it again. Bojack Unbound takes place after the defeat of Cell and the Z Fighters decide to relax doing what they enjoy most, entering tournaments meant for people leagues below them, except Vegeta.
Whatever passion Vegeta had for fighting is long gone. I don't know what's going on in that head of his.
I don't blame them though. Sometimes when I play RPGs, I return to the starting area to massacre level 1 enemies just to feel like a god. Except when I do that, there isn't a 100 million Zenny prize. Even Future Trunks returned from his timeline to partake in this fun, and we have this little line to excuse his presence.
When Trunks told me he'd beaten Android 17 and 18 in the future world, I knew this was coming.
This time they enter the Intergalactic World Tournament, held by the world's richest man, XS Cash. Ah, pun. As expected from Dragon Ball, Daddy Morbucks is holding this event for his son Monty's birthday so he can finally meet Mr. Satan and also aliens. Totally real aliens that are not just Mr. Satan's students in disguise. The first half of the movie consists of the preliminary round on Battle Island 1, where contestants are eliminated in bulk. All the while, there are fun moments such as Mr. Satan trying to weasel out of fighting the Z Fighters, Bulma and Chi-Chi having a little rivalry,
How could anyone expect to beat Trunks? Except Gohan!
and Roshi being up to his usual antics. Goku in the meantime is sitting this movie out and watching it on TV with King Kai and his buddies. Once the preliminaries are over, the second half of the tournament takes place on Battle Island 2, Electric Boogaloo. It consists of multiple battle zones where the finalists encounter these goofy dudes. You can visit Pretty Fields, Bowser's Basement, Sandland, Old-Timey London, and Toy Box? Why is that one so different? At this point, Bojack and his crew make their appearance after killing the totally real aliens off screen. Then the Z Fighters get involved and the real fight begins. This movie does follow the beats of a typical DBZ movie. You know, good guys on the brink of defeat, Piccolo saves his adopted son Gohan.
Am I glad to see you?
The side characters offer a little comic relief. And then finally, after getting filled with determination, the hero, in this case Gohan, makes short work of the villain. They, of course, go unthanked while Mr. Satan takes the credit and the Z Fighters are left laughing in the hospital. They got their asses beat pretty bad. Maybe you've noticed a distinct lack of villain talk so far. That's because I wanted to dedicate a portion of the video to them. After all, it's the villains that make the movies. Bojack and his crew are an interesting bunch. They are a group of teal-skinned, orange-haired creatures that talk with vague accents.
Since I've snatched someone's neck,
Earth belongs to my master now.
Someone not to be trifled with, boy.
Except for one of them for some reason.
The universe is littered with the bones of those who dare to think otherwise.
But that is pretty much all we know about them, at least in regards to the film itself. In the same year, Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2, a SNES game, was released and filled in the information we didn't know about them. Apparently they are a clan of Hera, the last survivors of planet Hera. Together, they became a group of space pirates and called themselves the Galaxy Soldiers. The Galaxy Soldiers consist of Bojack, Bujin, Kugo, Bito, and Zangia. Bojack and Bujin derive their names from Bojaku Bujin, meaning audacity. Bojack is the first half, Bujin is the second half. Kugo and Bito follow suit with the word Gokua Kuhito, meaning heinous or inhuman. Kugo had his name changed in English. Originally it was Gokua, and you can see how it fits better here, though it may have been changed to prevent confusion with Goku. Fair enough. And lastly, Zangia.
Space chicks are hot!
She gets her name from Zangyaku, meaning brutality or cruelty. Zangia is actually the first of the Galaxy Soldiers to make an on-screen appearance. She finds Krillin in Lava Reef Zone and gives him the beatdown while he is distracted by her beauty. It's okay, bro. I understand. I love Zangia's design. And no, it's not because I think she's hot. It's only a small part of it. Jokes aside, Zangia's design is a really interesting one. Other than her being another one of Toriyama's beautiful female designs, her hair in particular stands out. It's not just big, voluminous, and curly, but it is spectacularly animated at times. It flows in each scene that she's in, which is very few, sadly. The other scenes that she fights in, her hair once again is flowing all around and it really gives her life. Like all of Bojack's crew, she was designed by Akira Toriyama, and in his original designs, all of the Galaxy Soldiers had a light green skin tone. Their skin was changed to a teal color for the movie, but as you can see here, Zangia has a green tone. It's due to the lighting from the lava, and it seems to have confused many people since I still occasionally find fan art of her with bright green skin. I wonder if green was intentionally used in this lighting as a subtle nod to the crew's original design, or if it's just a coincidence. Bito shows up next, and he is the first to get an on-screen kill. He sports a goatee and a mohawk. His appearance is brief, but impactful. After killing Doskoi, he turns to the camera with a menacing sneer, striking fear into the audience, which is something I greatly enjoy, by the way. I love that we have an audience to watch Bojack and his crew hijack the tournament and react to all the fights going on. The next of Bojack's crew, Kogu, is a swordsman like Trunks, and Chrono cosplayer. It's only fitting that two swordsmen fight each other, but it's not fitting to have it so Trunks left his sword at home. No weapons allowed in the tournament. Whose idea was this? Give us a frickin' sword fight. Kogu is also the first in the movie to show off a transformation that the clan of Hera has access to. It involves a huge bulk up, hair changed to red, and a lime green skin tone. I wonder if this might be a nod to the original designs by Toriyama. We only get to see Kogu and Bojack unleash their full power. Just when Kogu thought he had Trunks on the run, the Bishi boy goes super and turns him into a donut. Bujin is the final underling to Bojack and encounters Gohan in the toy box. Bujin is short and dressed from head to toe. He's the only one to wear a turban, so I wonder what sort of dew he's hiding under there. Bujin is the first to use these threads that sap energy from anyone entangled in them, though he isn't the only one able to use that skill. He also appears to have some sort of illusory or magical powers, as he can change his toyland into this spooky looking area. I always viewed him as the mage of the group when I was younger. And the final member and leader of the Galaxy Soldiers, good old Bojack. His design is solid, great outfit, imposing figure, and imposing voice.
His level of skill is even more advanced than I'd hoped. This should be fun.
Exactly what I want in a DBZ villain. Bojack's backstory is successful in portraying him as a universal threat. The Kai sealed him in a star at the edge of the galaxy after he went on a genocidal rampage across the cosmos. The seal was only broken when Cell exploded all over Goku and King Kai when he was brought to his microplanet. Considering it took a star to keep him sealed, it says a lot about his strength. It's unfortunate that more of the backstory from the game couldn't have been implemented into the movie. I would have loved to see more about his race and their extinction. Why is his gang the last survivors? Maybe he destroyed his own planet in a galactic conquest? Or maybe he gathered the last of his crew and they decided to spread destruction throughout the universe out of a sense of spite. King Kai at one point tells us his thoughts on this guy.
Psychotic, unstable, filled with malice and rage.
It's one thing to say it, but I want an example. Yeah, he betrays Zangia and uses her as a quick distraction so he can sneak in a blast on Gohan. Is this a move of desperation after seeing his crew slaughtered before him? Or maybe upon seeing his dire situation, he wanted to be the one to snuff out any hope of saving his species. He could also just be plain mad too. Whatever the reason, it shows his true brutal and callous nature. There is a lot to speculate on when it comes to these awesome space pirates, because there is so little information on them. It is fun to fill in the void with all sorts of fan theories. Also, yes, I'm aware that most DBZ villains are in this camp. It isn't a series known to heavily flesh out but a few major characters, unless they find popularity. I just tend to gravitate towards this bunch here. Other than the intriguing villains of this movie, there is a lot to praise. For one, Gohan finally has a movie dedicated to him, specifically Teen Gohan. Teen Gohan is one of my favorite DBZ characters. He is angsty, but not overly so, and still uncertain of himself and his power. Though when he finds confidence within himself, he becomes a force to be reckoned with. I didn't care for the guy when he was a kid and found him kind of annoying. As an adult, I found him to be a dope and a disappointment. In my opinion, his best moment as an adult was when he fought against Super Boo, and he flubbed that by getting too cocky. I'm not going to take into account anything that happened in the recent Dragon Ball Super movie. Maybe he has redeeming moments, but I haven't seen it and I don't plan to. Let's just say Super doesn't mesh well with me and leave it at that. Bojack Unbound leans more into comedy and the villains are a little gimmicky, which I am so into. There are some dark moments, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. Bojack himself, while I do enjoy him, is short-lived and not the most memorable, especially when compared to Cooler or Broly. He could have benefited from the external lore dropped after the movie, but this movie only runs 50 minutes. There wasn't enough time to fit all that in. Maybe we would see more Bojack along the side of these two if his film was a little more involved and had a little longer runtime. It would have been amazing to have Bojack return stronger and with a grudge against Gohan, maybe as his personal nemesis. It could be called Bojack Rebound. While this not so jolly green giant isn't necessarily my favorite villain, that goes to Frieza and Broly, he and his crew as a whole are placed super high on my list. It is all the aspects of this movie that make it my favorite. Gohan, the attention to other characters, Mr. Satan just being in it, and of course the Galaxy Soldiers elevate this to be my favorite. So, Toei, Bojack sequel win. Alrighty Loungers, thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed your stay, please consider leaving a like, smashing subscribe, or contributing a comment below. It was great chilling with you, and I hope to see you return to the Rerun Lounge.